Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for inviting us to speak at this event. May I also take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Boni on your appointment as rapporteur of this important topic of the evening. Similarly, Pilar del Castillo on a rapporteurship on a code. I will touch up on that as well. As you will know, GSMA represents mobile operators in Europe and worldwide. We have more than 100 operator members in Europe, but also we have broad associate membership covering companies from all quarters of the mobile ecosystem and beyond. And indeed, the GSMA is well positioned to convene the 5G players and help build a partnership that will ultimately be needed to deliver success on 5G, and we are already doing it. For example, auto manufacturers, healthcare companies, and other vertical industry representatives are much as part of our annual Mobile World Congress in Barcelona as telecom operators and vendors. I would like to focus on three areas, my brief comments today. First, a quick reminder of the promise of the 5G. Second, a short summary of where we are with the obstacles and what is needed to drive forward 5G rollout and take-up. And third, a brief assessment of where we are today in terms of supportive policy and where we think the priorities should lie along the paths of a little bit promise but a little bit obstacles, as said in the intro. So, what are the promise? 5G is a key building block for the gigabit society. It's high speed, it's low latency, it's energy efficiency, always on reliability, it's precise remote control, instantaneous communication. It's a new layer of connectivity that will change cities, jobs, businesses, lives, and so on. It offers seamless interconnection between different network technologies that will allow different kind of application services delivered simultaneously from mission critical communication between machines, entertainment that could include futuristic holograms, touch sensitive control over remote devices and appliances, you name it. In short, it's about more than knowing what's in your fridge and remotely ordering extra milk. And because of that, little wonder that is becoming a political, commercial and societal priority, and little wonder that Europe is not the only region to wake up to its promise. So the promise is undeniable. So what are the obstacles or the challenges to this digital wonderland? There are many, and most fall into the technical, commercial and regulatory pots. 5G is technically complex with no single technological component, but many different building blocks. We have to address the challenge of enabling multiple devices, networks and users, humans, robots, wearables, to access networks and data in a consistent and secure way. And we at GSMA are collaborating with operators, vendors, governments and other industry organizations to ensure the necessary standards to achieve this. And from the commercial perspective, the key challenges are business cases and investment. The recent Boston Consulting Group study estimates that the gigabit society vision will require 660 billion euros investment, of which 200 billion euros would be for 5G. And it's for the industry, and it should be for the industry, to roll out the networks and services that will bring 5G alive. But governments and legislators all have a role to play here, as the current investment path will take more years than expected by the gigabit society vision. And this brings us to a familiar place, the policy space. Well, no surprise, I will argue that we need a modernized policy and regulatory framework that matches our 5G ambitions, encourages partnership, drives the investment and innovation to take up that needed to the success of 5G. So the Commission's Gigabit Society communication has demonstrated the necessary political ambitions, and its 5G action plan sets a framework to reinforce partnerships and that are already progressing on the ground. But these political commitments send strong signals of intent, but rubber hits the road with investment. Draft communications code is a step in the right direction, and its positive contribution to harmonizing spectrum policy and prioritizing connectivity investment should be defended fiercely during the co-legislative process. We must free up more harmonized spectrum to meet the 5G challenge, and we have to get auction processes and license conditions consistently right, so that investors can channel the maximum amount of resources to rolling out networks. I would like to mention as well an important dossier on the table. This was mentioned by Mr. Boni, the UHF for the 700 megahertz dossier, and we look forward to the vote this week in Parliament and the way the co-legislators carry forward the proposals on that one. To conclude, we must turn the positive political signals, sort of the Gigabit Society communication, and the statements of intent, the 5G action plan, into visible deliverables. Let's overcome the obstacles to 5G with ambition, with partnership, with policy reform, and I look forward to the debate today and beyond on the further details of promises and obstacles to 5G.
Thank you very much, and now I would like to ask Kazimira Kudrikova, Vice President Data Portfolio Management, SCSP.
Thank you.